In Rome, not far from St. Peter's, is the Trevi Fountain, where people throw in a coin and make a wish. Almost everyone who goes there makes a wish. What are they wishing for? For good luck? For fate to be kind to them? For their dreams to come true? If you threw a coin and wished for your dreams to come true, would it help? How many coins would you have to throw? What if everyone at the Trevi Fountain threw in a coin and made the same wish for you? Would it come true? Would it ever be possible for everyone at the Trevi Fountain to wish for the sun to stop and have it happen? That's silly, of course. We expect the physical world to work in predictable ways. But what about our lives? How much is one's life on a predictable path like the sun?
This is your life. You're going to live your life. It's chosen for you, and this is what the obstacles that we take is already planned for us.
So if your life is already determined or predetermined, does that mean even like you sit down and they say, do you want to have a soup or a salad, that's already determined?
Yeah, I just think it's like we're programmed or something, or things were meant to happen.
I think certain things are meant to be.
It's on us how we decide in things, so we can influence our life.
I chose to be a dietitian. I chose to be living in Belo Horizonte. I chose to leave my home. I chose to travel. I chose everything.
We are always choosing. Go to the left, go to the right. There's no one who doesn't believe they can freely make these simple, everyday choices. People may think that they make their own decisions, but they're always wishing for fate to be kind to them. On the Charles Bridge in Prague, there's a statue of a saint, and if you make a wish, rub the statue, your wish is supposed to come true, as long as you don't tell anyone. Does that mean that the saint can control or know the future? What about God? Many people believe that God knows the future. But if God knows what we will do in the future, how can we have free choice?
I think our whole lives are pretty much predetermined in the sense that our life is known by a higher being, like what's going to happen to us. But I mean, in our sense, it doesn't really matter because every action that you make is pretty much the first time you're doing it. Everything I'm doing today and tomorrow, it's my choice. That's what I'm making up. But God can tell you what I'm going to be doing in 30 years on Tuesday.
But God knows what you're going to do.
Yeah.
But you're still free.
Yeah, this is a mystery.
If there's something out there that already knows what I'm going to do ahead of time, then I can't be free. And then the other worry is if what I do, I only do because that's what natural law basically dictates that I will do, then I'm not free.
I put my hand out here, right? And I decided to lift it. I'm going to decide to lift my hand. I just lifted my hand. Now, that was my choice. Now, what happened when I wanted to lift my hand? Well, I can tell you. It started in my brain. So here's my brain. And there's a certain area in my brain where I triggered some neurons. I can tell you it's Brodmann's area 4. And these nerve fibers fired, went down the spinal cord. And then nerves came out of the spinal cord, went to a muscle, triggered this muscle, and I moved my hand. What triggered these fibers, these nerve fibers? So I had a thought, so there had to be another nerve fiber that triggered these fibers that made me move my hand. So it just keeps going back and back and back until I was born, and maybe everything started when I was born and all of these fibers started triggering, and I don't really have a choice of what I'm going to do.
I think our actions are indeed caused, very often caused by forces outside our control, such as when we were born and the configuration of atoms in our bodies and so on. In that sense of freedom, I don't think there is freedom.
Everyone would love to be able to predict the future. Psychics claim to see the future. Many people try to predict horse races and the stock market. In Tokyo, at the Shinto shrine, people try to get incense that's holy to penetrate into their brain and make them smarter. At that shrine, I paid 200 yen to get my fortune told. The custom is that if you get a bad fortune, you leave it at the shrine so it won't follow you. The central question of free will is whether if we knew everything in the universe, all the variables, all the pieces, could we predict the future?
Well, I couldn't because I'm not smart enough. But a supercomputer that had all the locations, velocities, and masses of all the atoms in the universe and knew the laws of nature, you know, to the most precise point, probably could predict most macroscopic events, although there would still be indeterminacy if quantum mechanics is right.
That supercomputer could predict whether you're going to have cherry pie or apple pie, whether you would choose that.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes you don't need a supercomputer to predict that. I mean, I know that if I give my son choice of cherry or apple, he's going to get apple. He hates cherry.
Einstein believed that we do live in a deterministic world, but he also realized the problem created by determinism. If we live in such a world, how can we be morally responsible for what we do?
I don't accept predestiny because it takes from you responsibility as a human being.
But I truly feel that I'm making choices. How do we explain that? There are experiments on the brains of people who decide to do something, and after they make the decision, there's a trigger in the brain that makes them believe that they've made a free choice. Of all the questions in life and philosophy, free will and destiny are the toughest. How can we be truly independent of all that's gone before? Maybe our free choice is only an illusion, but maybe that illusion is all we need.
I think it is an illusion. Nonetheless, whether or not we are free, I think we have to live as if we're free.